weird shit just finds you when you're high.
Yes.
It does.
No, it does.
I really
Oh my
feel
God,
like,
yeah.
I'll never forget. I was in San Francisco. There was a Jet Li movie showing, and we're sitting waiting for the bus, and we're both still high off our tits from seeing this movie. And we just hear a guy go, "Y'all waiting for the bus?" We turn. There is an immaculately attired cowboy behind us. Like, white hat, the vest. And we're like, "Yeah, we are waiting for the bus." And he's like, "You?" And he goes, "Nope." And he smiled like he knows something.
Yeah.
And we're like, "Okay." 5 seconds pass. We look back. He's gone.
Like, boys, you've gotten high enough to unlock my plane of reality.
I know. I could have asked him for some
You could have
intergalactic
asked
wisdom. That was the question we gave him. Are you going on the bus too? That's
I have infinite knowledge. Y'all just asked me if I was getting on the 2 up north. All right, then.
Okay. Guess I'm done.
Yeah, well, my one thing is I do not reveal the rules of being a magic cowboy before the boys ask me a question.
I'm sorry. Welcome to Tank Top Talks with Matt Braunger. I'm your host, Matt Braunger. Tank tops are ridiculous, but they feel good. And the reason why they feel good is because they're ridiculous. Skyler Higley, let's talk about your tank.
Hey, this is my tank.
Nice.
It's me and it's my tank. Thanks for having me.
Sure.
And I've never done a show where they're like, put on a tank top.
It's really weird. And it's very silly because we're both wearing pants and wearing tank tops for the listeners at home.
This is like is a cleaning my home outfit.
Mm-hmm. This is very much a silly 80s look or a dad who doesn't care look.
Yeah.
Internationally, which I love. You go to any country in the world, there are dads that just rock a tank with pants.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. But I like getting a conversation going with interesting people like yourself, in a tank top.
I wish I had my chain on. I fucked up. Tank top and chain is what you need to, because then it's like that's kind of like something feels right about it.
That's true.
I should have put it on.
It's all right. It's all right.
I didn't wear a chain to
I
work.
think honestly, your tank top with glasses.
Yeah,
you look like
that's kind of crazy.
You look like a professor that just doesn't give a fuck.
The professor at spring break.
Yeah.
Hey kids, I'm here too. What's up?
What's up?
Yeah, no, I think
it looks so fun. I thought I would join.
Yeah, come on. Hey, y'all need to catch up on the homework too.
Did you just pull a tank out from somewhere?
I did. It was just like, whatever's in the drawer.
Yeah.
And I feel like I have 2 to 3 because I was living in Chicago for a while.
Yes.
So it was like, I'm not like, there's summers, but I was like, I'm not going out like that usually. And then,
there's something about Chicago weather that's nothing I've known in all of my 51 years. I mean, I spent the meat of my 20s in Chicago, and it's just the cold. It's very famous for the cold.
Yeah.
But that humidity right off the lake in the summer, like August and September, is crazy.
And the humidity is insane.
It's like warm peanut butter you're walking through all the time.
You feel like you're in molasses.
Yeah.
Like, this is... We always talk about how cold it is, but like it gets hot, and this is disgusting.
I remember being at the beach, if you want to call it the beach, in the city.
Yeah.
And
the
like
edge of the city.
We're all like laying on blankets or like towels, and there's my friend's there he's got these girls with him, and this guy kind of rolls up, and they're all like, my friend used to bartend in all these hot clubs and stuff, so everyone's gorgeous, and then there's me, and then this guy rolls up, and they know him, and he's like kind of a rich kid dude, but kind of muscular. And he's like, you're biking around. He's like, this is, I work out in this. I like it. It makes you sweat. It's like a sauna. And I remember just being like, this guy's insane.
You got to be a little insane if you're
I would ride my bike to work and then have to go and like kind of hose down.
Yeah, you got to kind of dab.
Yes.
You got to dab down.
Clean yourself
and you're kind of like a little bit like, I got to work, but like at what cost?
Exactly.
If you're going to bike,
yeah,
you're like, all right, time to apply second round of deodorant, even though I'm just clocking in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been there.
How old were you in Chicago?
I was 20 to 27.
That's like exactly my same run.
Yeah.
I think I was 22 to 28.
Yeah,
but yeah,
exactly.
Same deal.
It's also, there was like the COVID years too. So it was a weird, like, I intended to leave a little sooner.
Yeah.
But then like COVID locked stuff down, and then I was writing at the Onion. So I was like, oh, I have a comedy writing job.
Yeah.
That's cool. I can be here. And then, I left for a different TV job here. And then I've just been here since then.
Where are you from?
I'm from Salt Lake City.
Oh, okay.
Utah. Yeah, it's a
Wow.
whole thing. Yeah,
That's where you grew up?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Any Mormon family members?
Oh, I was Mormon.
You were Mormon?
Yeah, I grew up Mormon. So my whole thing, if you're not aware of my lore, my whole thing, I was adopted by whites, and they were white Mormons.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Just about the whites.
Thank you so much. Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And I don't know if people apologize. A lot of people are, when I say that on stage, sometimes I get woos and I immediately attack those people. I go, no. Woos? What are you talking about?
I was adopted by the whites. Woo!
Yeah, there's like a woo.
We're the best.
Yeah, it's like no, that's not, I didn't. We got one. And it's like, I didn't want to join your team.
And it's the breadth of the term whites.
Yeah,
is like it can't be. It's you. There can't be pride in that.
Yeah,
you can be like Irish pride, Italian pride.
If I had said a specific Dutch, they'd be like, "Oh, I'm Dutch. Cool,
Dutch. Yeah,
that's different.
Yeah.
But they're
I'm
just
from
like,
Holland.
It's so weird. It's like weird because they're like, I feel like people just don't know what to do with the information.
The woos.
And so sometimes I'll get woos, I'll get awes. Awes make sense.
Yeah.
And I go, well, I'm here.
I love the way. I mean, you're a writer. You know, like you write really funny jokes. You're doing what you should be doing. You're very young, and it's very cool to have found your lane so well, so young. But it's like just the wording of that. I was adopted by the whites.
Whites. Yeah. Well, I say when I go on stage, I go, I'm adopted by the whites. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to say the whites. I meant to say the enemy. And that's like a good okay, we're all on board with what's happening.
Yeah.
And you get into however long you need to talk about that shit until, okay, we done talking about that. Now I can say my other stuff and you know where I'm coming from.
Yes.
That's like the biggest thing, not to fully just go into stand up. I don't know how much.
It's so funny because I've seen you do stand up, but I haven't seen your
the whole thing,
your origin story.
Yeah.
Joke.
Well,
anyway.
that's the thing is because you do that for however many years.
Sure.
And then you stop doing it because you're like, well, I know that I've done it enough and it works well enough.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need to just to get to the other stuff that you want to say.
Right.
But then that's like a whole bulk of like every clip online of me, even though they're different jokes, they're all titled the same, like Black Mormon comedian, blah blah blah.
Interesting.
But it's like these are different jokes. You have to click on the clip to know that.
Yes.
But like the subject matter seems to be like they're all the same or adjacent.
And that's the thing when I played Wise Guys, which is the big comedy chain in Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
I just in my head I go, how sick are these people of the magic underwear jokes? How sick are
but they're
they?
Not. They really not. They love
okay.
it. I mean, I'm sure some people are if they're like whatever, but like every comedian that comes to town, like when you go places, you make a joke about something that's there, and then you kind of assume like, oh, is this played out? No, they love it. Like everywhere basically is like it's something specific. It's like this person that you're coming to see say something specific.
Yeah.
And we also think about, because we're comedians, we're interacting with the comedy all the time and how played out certain jokes might be. But most people who are going to a comedy show are not interacting with comedy on that level. Maybe you're diehard fans or whatever.
Yeah.
But most people, it's like a general audience. So if you say something, this is why hack jokes always work everywhere so well.
Yeah.
Because you're saying something that like just works. And if you're saying like, here's this specific, they're like, oh my, half of it is, oh my God, he knows about that thing. It's like, yeah, there you go.
Yeah. And a guy sitting with 3 women.
Yeah.
So here's the marriage.
Oh, it's polygamous, and then everyone's like, he knows it.
There are.
Yeah.
They don't really hang in this area of the
exactly.
city. But,
but they are around.
Yeah, they're around.
Yeah, you go there next time, just, hit them on their soda, the soda craze that's happening.
Yes.
Because ever since I left, this is what I get asked about the most about Salt Lake, almost. I mean, Mormons and other stuff. But everybody's like, oh, but soda's crazy over there. And it's like, that whole thing kind of started, I mean, maybe right before the pandemic, whatever.
Yeah.
But like, that happened after I left. So every time I go back, there's all these damn soda shops. And I'm like, what has happened to this? This was not happening when I was growing up.
And it's probably a replacement for like, social drinking.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
It's not,
going out to be around people. And it's like, they say that, I think this is true, Salt Lake is the best place to, if you're going to launch like a new business or idea or an activity, SLC is the best place to launch it because like you're getting the most people who have like families or want something to do. If it's not directly connected to alcohol, it's like the best place to test your like business. Like Crumble Cookies came from there, and like there are a couple other places. Like Salt Lake is like a testing ground for a lot of companies.
Interesting, because there are like within a rock toss of the 2 downtown wise guys, there's like 3 really good breweries.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Which I'm just like, you know, people do drink there.
They do. Mm-hmm. I mean, they stop at midnight, basically.
Right. As the Lord intended.
Yeah, the Lord tells you got to stop drinking when the sun goes down.
Did you go from Salt Lake City to Chicago?
Yeah. Well, I went Salt Lake City, and then I went Logan, Utah, which is where I was going to college. So I was going to Utah State before I dropped out, basically. And then I went from there to Chicago.
Okay, because that's... just speaking of drinking,
yeah,
like, wow,
big dip. When I started seeing alcohol at like grocery stores and at like 7-Elevens everywhere, you could just like get a handle of anything.
Yep.
Up until a certain point, until like 2 a.m.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, you just have these like around, like in Salt Lake, it is legally, I was gonna say legally not allowed. It is illegal to pour alcohol at a restaurant out where somebody can see. If you're ordering a drink at a restaurant, they have to go into the kitchen, pour it, and then bring it out to you.
That's funny. Yeah.
What is that?
Well, it's my wife and I went to like a resort in Mexico, and like years and years and years ago, and we just happened to get there on election weekend. Election weekend, you legally cannot serve alcohol. Because Mexico is an incredibly old country. And so they just had these archaic laws. But if you go to a resort, there's no liquor behind them. It's down here. And they have a little deal where it's like, it's okay as long as you're a resort. And I remember I ran into, speaking of the whites, I ran into one of our worst. She swims over to us and she says the worst thing ever, which is, thank God, Americans. And you go, you just wince and you're like, fuck, no, I'm not.
You're in
and
Mexico.
Like, my wife speaks Spanish. And I'm just like, talk, please, let's act like we're light skinned. And so she swims over and she's like, just starts bitching about everything. And she goes, and you know what? Because they can't have alcohol out there, all the rich Mexicans come to this resort so they can drink. And I'm like, do you really, you think it's just for white people? The fucking resorts in Mexico?
Hell?
We don't own Mexico.
That's terrible.
And I remember just saying, I was like, I want to drink with rich Mexicans. And I just swam past her.
Right.
And we just swam away from her like she never.
Of course.
But it was just this crazy. Sorry, just to yank a memory and shove it.
No, it's good. That's what it was for.
It was the thing. It was the thing of it was a little bit of a bummer because you like sitting at a bar and just seeing the array of choices, all the bottles and stuff, and they're all down there. And it just looks like this bear, like they just got robbed.
Right.
Or they're still building the resort.
You're just like, but I need to look at what I want
but it was also like, okay. So we can still have it.
Still party.
Great. But just who knew?
Yeah.
You're just not even up on my history or anything like that.
I would have, this is the only way I ever would have known that. So
it's so random. I'm sure someone's listening and they're going, no, you can have it in this place, this place.
Oh,
this
sure.
Thing. But there's special dispensations.
Sorry to the listeners. We don't know all the municipal rules of Mexico on election weekend in terms of alcohol. Sorry about that. We're wearing tank tops.
Come on.
If you're going to get mad, you're going to get mad at Braunger.
No.
You're going to have to come through me.
You're right.
If you're mad about the specific
Skyler.
Mexican laws around alcohol vis-a-vis the elections, go ahead and DM me.
Yeah, try them. But I think that's very funny that to have these old country laws where it was like, when people were chugging down terrible over alcoholified beers or whatever and stuff, and just like, I voted wrong. Like some terrible person won.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, these are holdovers, and it's like, I wish that I wish it were easier to fix these things.
Right.
It's especially right now, really not. So you're just kind of like, well, this is what they do there.
Yeah, we're all us rule followers are all hamstrung.
Yeah.
No,
it's
by the old just ask for permission later, ask for forgiveness later rather than permission now crowd. Yeah. I never thought that ask for permission, ask for forgiveness later people would be this bad.
They are. And I really wish, because I have...
I just say it's more ask for forgiveness.
Never. Yeah, they don't care. They're just
give a shit.
It is this thing of like, and we're speaking of our federal government.
Sure.
Or the executive cabinet.
Yeah.
of this like thing that's happening where it's like, is this against the law? Who cares? Who knows?
I don't know.
Let's just do it, and then we'll find out how much of it we can get away with.
Yeah.
And then we'll walk it back if we need to walk it back, but we're just gonna do it.
And I just think of Roy Wood Jr.'s bit of, you got to die on time. Like, it's just gonna be this thing where he just takes the pot, the poker pot, as Roy does, and then it's just like his heirs getting rounded up.
Exactly. That's it. That's what it's gonna be, and we're just gonna have to deal with that. I do wish I was a ask for forgiveness, not permission person, or just like even I had a situation where I wanted to scam the city of LA, but I did not think I was gonna get away with it. But basically, I'll explain this.
Yes, please.
I got my electricity turned off at the apartment that I live at now because the other apartments I've lived in before, it was always included with the rent. Thought it was included with the rent. It wasn't. I never put the electricity in my name, and then it was in somebody else's name, but I lived at the place for goddamn 2 years.
Whoa.
So you would think that would have happened way before now.
That's
we would have sorted it out. And they're like, oh, you have to bring us your lease, blah, blah, blah. And so we can give you like whatever. It's like, we're going to backdate it and whatever. So you're going to owe us a bunch of fucking money. And I was like, well, can I just like give them the lease with the date changed on it? And then I can be like, I've lived here for only a couple months, and they would have, and and that's the thought I had. But I was just like, I can't forge a document. I really want to.
Yeah.
I've thought about, I knew how it would work.
But you got to do the odds.
Yeah.
And it's like, that can be, checked pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And then you're fucked.
But if they don't check, that's the thing.
Right.
It's just like, but I am a rule follower because I'm like, well, if they check, I'm fucked. But this is how I would scam it if I could scam it.
Sure. And it kind of comes down to, the whole don't lie, because then you don't have to remember anything.
Yeah.
You would have to keep these facts straight and stuff. And
I don't want to live in that world.
No.
But like, some people are comfortable living in that space, or
absolutely,
some people don't even want to give a fuck if they keep the facts straight.
I knew a guy, Chicago.
Oh yeah.
Who what did he do? He had a car that he couldn't sell it or something, and so he took it out and just drove it on Lakeshore Drive and smashed it up. Like at 4 a.m, just kept hitting the guardrails, smash, and then just took it and like left it on like the green, right off the highway, and like threw the keys somewhere, went home, reported it stolen, and just got the money.
Oh,
from insurance.
Wow.
Yeah,
and that worked.
It did.
God damn.
And it was like one of those things where it's like, I couldn't.
I would never have thought of that.
This was when I was in my 20s. I think he was in his 30s. Just a guy that I worked with on and off.
Yeah.
But like, I would still be afraid now.
Mm-hmm.
Every time the phone would ring, I'd be like,
hello.
Is it?
Yeah, is it about the car? Is it about the car that I smashed next door drive?
Oh, thank God, Dad. Hi, Dad. Oh, I didn't.
Right.
I should look at the number first.
They're here. They've called me.
I know you got me.
Yeah.
God, I can't have that.
But some people are really, and like, to his credit, like that's a pretty smart way to go about things. Like there are people, and I think it used to be way easier before like we had as much technology as we have now, but there are people who exist in this world to try to scam.
Yep.
And they just like try to see the angles of what they can get.
Oh yeah.
And they just kind of go for it.
Yeah.
Dude, my friend's dad, one time, me and my friend were in college. We get high and we're going to see some fucking movie with his dad. And his dad is immediately, when we get to the theater, like, oh yeah, they sent us in to check on the popcorn, so we're gonna be needing that for free. And the theater workers are like, good one, man. And then he's like, no, what? Jerry didn't call you? Like we're here to, we're checking their popcorn quality, and we are going to need a couple buckets for free. And like, this is a clear lie that he's trying to tell these people.
Yeah.
And we're sitting there, me and my friend are sitting there freaking out like high, like, oh my God, don't do this. We're high as fuck.
Stop.
You're making, we don't even want anyone to look at us at all because we're stoned out of our fucking minds.
Yeah.
And
Mr. Mesereau, I'll just pay. I'll just pay. I got it.
The FBI is
Please let me walk away from this counter
and shoot us. And in a hail of gunfire, we're going to die because of this scam you're trying to. That's what's going on in my brain.
The machinations that go through a stone brain.
And this was like one of my first, era of getting high. Like, this is one of my first times, like, smoking. So I'm like high as fuck being like, what's this movie like? And then he's just like, yeah, like, get us some popcorn for free. And they start in, and then he's like, no, I didn't hear anything. Like, we can get the manager for you to talk to. And he's like, yeah, go ahead, get the manager. We'll talk to him. And then he starts, goes back and forth with the manager. This guy knows it's fake. He's obviously like really pissed off, and he's just like, and then he's just like never drops the bit. He's like, okay, well, I don't know why they didn't call you because that's why we're here, but I guess we'll pay for it. And we're just sitting there like, please stop, please.
The shittiest scam.
It's so bad.
So ill planned out, and you wonder, is it like a Homer Simpson? Where he's like at home and he's in a hammock and he's dreaming of how well it's going to go.
Right.
They're going to give him all the popcorn and the money from the till. Like, it's just going to go Homer always.
They're going to be like, you know what? Just for getting us, here's some more money. You want to see every movie for free for the rest of your life?
Yes.
Here's an
crown
AMC
you
gold
King
card.
AMC. Just crown on his head.
No,
come on, boy. And then they go.
I think it's honestly the opposite of that. That is something in his brain that was in the moment. He feels, oh, maybe there's an opportunity for me to get something, and then he goes into it, and then he just doubles and triples down, and it's kind of like, whoa.
I had a theory in my early 20s and late teens, like smoking weed a lot in college, that weird shit just finds you when you're high.
Yes.
It does.
No, it does.
I really feel like it's like, that's like kind of my version of believing in the secret, in like manifesting, which I kind of believe in to a degree.
Sure.
But like, I really, really think weird shit finds you. I'll never forget. I was in San Francisco when I was in college. I watched anything that came out of, anything kung fu, anything, like every Jet Li movie and stuff. And so there was a Jet Li movie showing in San Francisco in the Mission. My friend and I were in San Francisco, and it's in this part, a lot of the Mission was pretty run down then. And so we were in this area and it was pretty sketch, and we saw the movie, and we were just taking a bus home.
Right.
So this is before Uber, all that stuff. We didn't have a lot of money for a cab. So we went to, and there's this area that's just a triangle, like in the middle of, an intersection. And we're sitting waiting for the bus, and we're both still high off our tits from seeing this movie. And a semi pulls up. There's no cars. A semi just pulls up, and this guy gets out, and he's like, hey, can you tell me how to get to? And he says the craziest street name I've ever heard in my life. I don't remember what it was.
Right.
And we're like, no, we're not from around here. He's like, fuck. Gets back in his enormous semi in a neighborhood and just keeps going slowly up a hill and gone. And then a guy is walking, and then he turns, like he just saw us, and he just beelines. There's a feeling of like, fuck, this guy's gonna rob us. And he's like, let me show you what I got. And he just opens a foil thing full of some kind of hideous drug. And we're like, no thanks. And he's like, balls it up, walks away. And we just hear a guy go, y'all waiting for the bus? We turn. There is an immaculately attired cowboy behind us. Like, white hat, the vest.
Yeah. Hey there, boys.
Just standing there.
I'm the stone
smoking
boy
a
cowboy.
cigarette. And we're like, hey man.
Yeah.
And he's like, evening. And we're like, yeah, we are waiting for the bus. And he's like, you? And he goes, nope. And he smiled like he knows something.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay. And we turn back around, and we hear a harmonica playing. Like, he pulled a harmonica out.
Yeah.
5 seconds pass, we look back, he's gone.
Yeah.
We didn't hear clap, 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 him walking.
No.
Big cowboy boots, nothing.
That was the weed.
To this day, something beamed him up.
Yeah. No, I
was like, do you think someone beamed him? And we were laughing, but we were like laughing like, oh my God, he was gone. There's nothing behind him for 50 feet in all directions. No car door opened.
Right.
Nothing.
No, he's
Silence.
like the cowboy that you only see when you're high. Like, boys, You've gotten high enough to unlock my plane of reality.
I know. I could have asked him for some
You could have
intergalactic
asked
wisdom.
Any
He was kind of
question,
like, that was the question we gave him. Are you going on the bus too?
No.
That was, I fucked myself.
That was your one question. What? Turn away, turn back, he's gone. Oh, shit. That was a genie. That was a Western genie. God damn it.
I fulfilled my wish of wanting to know if he was going on a bus or not. That's
I have infinite knowledge. Y'all just asked me if I was getting on the 2 up north. All right, then.
Okay, guess I'm done.
Yeah, oh well. My one thing is I do not reveal the rules of being a magic cowboy before the boys ask me a question.
I'm sorry.
Oh well.
I'm so glad you agree with my theory.
No, I had a situation like that where me and another friend were super high. We went to a Walmart. And this is also the thing. It's like, yeah, weird things happen when you're high, but this is
in a
also,
Walmart.
This is a Walmart after like midnight.
Oh yeah.
And that's Blade Runner.
Yeah.
When you're in there, it's just like anything could happen. It's like there's different aisles that are completely bare, and then there's other ones that are just like overflowing with like, wait, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
And I don't even remember what we were looking. We were probably just getting the munchies, getting a snack or something like that. And we were going around, and there was this one guy that like it was like this thing of like seeing him from across the supermarket aisle. Like we're down like at like where dairy is, and he's like down by the meats. And he kind of he's wearing full camo, and he kind of does that like up to us, you know. And
he does like the get out run.
Yes, he's like kind of doing the get out run up to us. and but it wasn't even fully running. He was just kind of like walking. Like he doesn't even, and he kind of like walks up, and we didn't think he was like but he was clearly coming straight at us. And he kind of gets really close to us. And he goes, "Hey guys," and we're like, "What's up?" And he's like, "Do you know the Muffin Man?" And we were like,
"Oh no,
what?" And he's like, "Do you know the Muffin Man?" And we were like, "No." And he goes, "Well, if you see him, tell him that I'm gonna make out with him, and then I'm gonna kill him, and then I'm gonna get high with him." And we're like, "What?"
You fucked up the order.
Yeah, it was like, but he was clearly improvising,
sure,
trying to be like, we were like, what? And then he just walked away, and then we were like, okay, fucking Walmart's fucking crazy. We got to get out of here.
Yeah.
Then we go to check out, and as we're checking out, the one aisle that's open, we're behind a lady who's got tons and tons of stuff in her cart. She's going to check out, and then it's like that thing of like being like, oh, a person's kind of got a lot in their cart, and you're just kind of waiting, and then you go, wait a second, that person has a shitload in their cart. And then we realize as we clue into what's happening, she's got a fucking ton of shit in her cart. She's trying to just scan like 2 or 3 things and then like try to, keep going. And then the employee's like, "No, you got a lot of other stuff in your cart. You've got to scan that." She's like, "No." And then she starts making up this thing about like, "No, I just got this thing that I'm trying to return. So I'm just trying to come back and I'm trying to check out this." But and she's just clearly trying to steal a bunch of stuff, but not good at it. And so then they start taking stuff out of the cart. She's like, "You got to scan all this stuff. You got to take it." She's like, "Scan everything." And she starts taking the stuff out of her cart. And then a little kid raises up. We realize there's been a little boy in the cart who's like been buried under the stuff, and the little kid like kind of like leans up, and this is like I want to say 7 years old or younger kid, just like buried under all this stuff.
Whoa.
And it was like, it was like a boy in there the whole time. She goes to scan it. Obviously, she can't pay for it, and then she just kind of like pushes it out, and the employee's like, "You've got to pay for that." She pushes it out. She keeps going, and then the employee's like, and here's the other wrinkle of that story that I just remembered. She goes, the Muffin Man guy is in the line behind us because it was the only thing open.
Great.
And then she's like, the employee tries to explain to us like, yeah, they can't really, this is just trying to steal it or whatever. And she's just like, "We're going to handle this and it'll be fine." She says she forgot her wallet or whatever.
Yeah.
And then the Muffin Man guy behind us goes, oh yeah, no, I stole it from her. I'm trying to take it from her. And then the employee's like, what? And we're just sitting there like, no, this is just a troll guy. Don't fucking engage. And then he's just like, yeah, I stole it. And then the employee's like, oh, okay, you're joking. But it was just like that experience of being high and just being like, why is any of this happening?
Yeah,
How long have we been here? How, can we go?
Breeze through with my Butterfinger and my Doritos.
We just have a handful of stuff. I don't want to be a part of this.
Please.
I don't want to be in this story.
Yeah, I want to be a ghost.
Yeah.
I want to come and go. And that's, like, I don't want to have to be beholden to your crazy.
But I have had crazy that goes in the good way, too, when I'm high. Like, one time we were on acid, and I was walking around this lake, and it was this beautiful, idyllic lake, and we're sitting there being like, oh man, the one thing we wish we had right now to go out on this lake is a kayak. Wouldn't it be nice? It's a beautiful summer day. This is a beautiful lake. Everything's rainbows. We're chilling. We wish we had a kayak. As we're coming around, right after we say that, there's a kayak flipped over on the edge of the lake. We're like, we're taking this shit out. So it was like that thing of like, nice. And we like kind of minds were blown. We're like, whoa, this is exactly what we wanted.
Yeah.
And so we took it out on the lake. So stuff like that happens too.
Yeah, that's true. I find that when I'm like, oh, this bad thing always happens to me, it's like, that's the stuff that stands out in your memory.
Yeah.
Because you always remember the time you feel like you made a fool of yourself or you said something stupid and you're just like, oh,
Yeah, it's just a survival mechanism.
Exactly.
That's like what our brains are like trained to do.
Yeah.
So I was presenting that to one of my bosses one time when I worked a shitty job in Chicago. And my one boss, who was like kind of a crazy person, he goes, I don't have that. And he was like, what are you talking about? Everybody has that.
Yeah.
And he's like, not me. I only remember positive things. This guy would yell at people all the time.
Oh, dude. The amount of people that I've known in my life that are just insane. Like, you guys know me. I'm just a lighthearted dude. And, I'm always like, I'm trying to make things fun for people. And you're like, you're a nightmare.
You're actually
the hell are you talking about? You're always complaining. You're always like just whiny as shit.
Yeah, it's really funny.
Yeah, you're the person who, when everyone's talking about something fun, that you demand that you be caught up on everything, and all you would have to do is go around the corner and Google the shit and come back.
Oh my god!
It's just this. You're like, oh, why am I having to spell this shit out? You are the human equivalent of you or I post a show we're doing.
Yeah,
and they comment, "Where's the show?"
That's absolutely.
It's on the flyer. It's on the flyer. How much is it?
Don't ask me questions. It's on the flyer.
On the flyer.
Yeah. You ever get this where you have like you're doing a show and then like some friends might be coming to it and they hit you up being like, "Hey, we're running late. Hey, we're not gonna make." I don't care.
No, yeah.
There's a bunch of other people who are here. Don't tell me that.
My favorite.
I don't care.
My favorite of all time was this girl I grew up with named Kate Green, who's very funny and very sarcastic, and I was playing Mississippi Studios and it was sold out, and she showed up. A bunch of friends showed up, and they all had tickets. She didn't have a ticket.
Yeah.
She showed up late and was like going to pay and stuff. And she's outside like, I got her in. And in front of me, she goes, I didn't even think it was going to sell out. It was the funniest fucking thing. So good, because she knows what she's saying.
Yeah,
but it's also like, fuck you.
No, that's funny.
I'm about to go on stage in my hometown,
like,
but it was so good though.
You got to say that after, but
it was
that's
so good.
Really funny.
It was very funny. I think people
it was gonna sell out.
People like you.
Oh my god. Oh, you're like a successful comedian.
I'm just here because I'm with friends of friends.
Yeah. That's also the other thing is you have friends and you start out. There's this like support situation that happens when you're starting.
Yeah.
Then you get further into it. Then it's not like the friends are supporting you, but then it is this weird thing of like your friends like not caring as much, or people who know you think that it's like, okay, like whatever, even though it's like, no, it's way better now. Like all those points I spent on you like supporting me and like coming to my shit, then when it was bad, like, sorry, but I'm good now and I'm doing way better now. So like, you can come see this, and it's not going to be the experience that you had 10 years ago when I was 20 and I didn't know what jokes were yet.
No. Yeah, like at this point, a lot of my family just doesn't come see me when I'm in their town, which I am down with.
That's great.
I'm like, let's get lunch.
Yeah.
I'll do the show tonight. We can bid each other a fair adieu.
Yeah.
I know you'd rather be seeing Nate Bargatze, and that's great. That's great. You know?
I think if you well, I'm not going to speak in broad terms that I don't know, but like, I don't know if it's always the best if you're your family's cup of tea, like comedically.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that the people in my family really would. I guess some people kind of vibe exactly.
If I was crushing with my like 80-year-old aunt and uncle all the time, and they've watched all my clips, there's a big removal there, you know, where it's not. It just wouldn't. Yeah, I'm not. You know, whoever they're into.
Yeah, I had to tell my mom a couple years ago because it started happening where she would start sending me like stand-up comedy clips of different people.
Yes.
And I'd be like, hey, like, you don't need to send this to me.
Yeah.
Not only because I see it almost every day, all the time, but and all my internet feeds are all clips.
Yeah.
But also the person that you just sent me is a sexual predator, so I don't want to see him.
Well, you gotta separate the art from the artist, though. Your mom says that.
She's like, I thought Chris D'Elia was so funny. I'm like,
yeah, it's like it could be argued, but at the same time,
you're like, I'm like,
you should know.
You're just like sending me so many different clips of different people. I'm just like, I don't.
Do you know April Richardson? I don't even know her.
I don't know her.
She's a little bit she's right around younger than me, but around my age. But she's really funny, and she's from Atlanta. And she,
Atlanta people are funny.
She's definitely like from a very country household. Just picture of her as like with a cowboy hat, and a little girl and stuff. And her mom, and she say April is white. Her family's white, and her mom will not stop sending her Steve Harvey clips. Just always
Steve kills.
Lord, he is the funniest. Yeah. Like a text,
you're like
just.
Okay, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Of a certain generation.
He is one of America's favorites.
Yes, he is.
For sure.
It is good. It's like, it's always funny, like the things that certain people will send, because it is like, yeah, no, have you seen this Brian Regan bit? Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Sure.
I saw that a long time ago.
And like, it's funny. I feel like Brian Regan kind of bridges the gap because it's so silly and so funny, and my act owes him a huge debt, and countless other comics for sure. Totally. But it's like Steve Harvey.
Yeah, that's.
I won't say. I think he's a funny person.
Yeah,
I think he's also probably a terrible person.
Yes.
But
that's a megalomaniac for sure.
Yes, for sure, narcissist. When you was it think like a man, act like a lady.
Yeah.
Why should I?
Why?
For you, for men?
But it's also, he's writing it was act like a lady, think like a man. He was writing a book telling women what to do.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Why should I? I was speaking as a woman. Why should I?
Why? I don't know that any man, especially not one with more mustache hair than head hair,
right,
should be just writing a book telling women what to do.
The balls to write a book to tell women how to act as a man.
Yeah. Because you host Family Feud.
Not even a gay man.
Right.
A gay man should write that book.
Steve.
Come on.
You're wearing huge suits. You are not even gay, and you're trying to tell women what to do.
And you look at, I love Kings of Comedy. I love that movie.
Just because you wore a wig, Steve, that does not mean
it doesn't.
You get to tell women what to do.
A flat top wig at one point.
Yeah.
Which I would like one. But he, it's like there's degrees of funny and shit, and but like Bernie Mac, the best. The whole thing. I mean, he just tells a story about taking in all these kids, which became the basis of his show, because his sister had a drug problem, and it's like the bits about those kids are so goddamn funny, and he does all this stuff that's very Brian Regan-esque, very silly. How he's tired of hugging black men. It's just too painful. There's too much shit. Just so he can take the small thing and make it hilarious. And so much of Steve Harvey shit is just like, what if the band of the Titanic were black? And remember this song? Just plays the song and dances to it.
Dances, and then it's like, okay.
I mean, I do like this song, Steve, but it's not your song.
There's a lot of, and because there was like a lot of that Def Jam era that was that too, but I do feel like there is a lot of my criticisms of what happened in that world at that time with the comedians who were bad, because there is I'm not saying Def, but like there was like good, and then there is like you're not trying that hard. I feel like a lot of that is like happening now, especially with social media, which is very much like, there are people who consider themselves like sketch comedians, and the sketch is like always just them like saying something to camera. It's like, that's not a sketch.
No,
That's not a sketch. You maybe like set a premise, but and you can call it comedy. I'm not saying it's not comedy. I'm not saying it's not funny. I'm not hating on what you do. I'm saying that's not sketch comedy.
No,
if there are categories, we have to respect those categories.
Yes.
And the people who, all these comedians who are like, I think I have no hatred towards like all this crowd work stuff because it's the hot button thing.
Sure.
But I do think if you are predominantly like a crowd work comedian, which again, I incorporate that into my thing. I think that it should like be definitively like a different category of stand-up than like what we're calling stand-up. I just think you should be on different shows. You should do different things.
Yeah.
It should be a different circuit of the people who I want to go see structured comedy jokes and people who just want to go see a show where it's like, hey, are you dating her? And then we're going to do some fucking party games and like shit like that, because that's just like a different thing if that's going to be your full thing.
Yeah.
And it's fine. I like a lot of it, but it's just like, I don't want everybody to think one version of something is what everyone should be doing and what we should expect. And it does only laugh at this and not that.
And it does make me kind of go, I do feel like stand-up comedy is definitely a meritocracy.
Oh yeah.
In a lot of ways. But of course it's entertainment. But not in terms of who's rich. Don't get me wrong.
Okay, good.
But just stage, and we're all going
I was
one
like,
by
are
one.
you crazy?
You have to.
Gotcha.
No. Not in terms of necessarily careers.
Okay.
But to extrapolate that, like take crowd work, for example. There are a lot of people that are very famous for doing crowd work, and nationwide, there's like, a handful, 3 or 4 names, but nobody brings up Rick Ingram, who's I've talked about on the show. He's a Comedy Central, a comedy store guy. And it's just one of those things where he just destroys, and he's like a dude around my age, nicest guy, but a super grump on stage.
Sure.
But it's like this thing where I'm just like, I want it reminds me of these 3 or 4 guys that are, playing enormous venues and stuff that are good. They're very good.
Yeah.
But to me they're like, I feel like, if crowd work comedians are boxers, this guy is Mike Tyson in his prime and no one's heard of him.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, if you really want, someone, and I said they did this great promo for him for I think he's playing like the Mothership or something in Austin and stuff. And I was like, okay, I got my problems with that scene, but at least they're giving him some fucking shine, because he opened for Chris Rock's last tour, the whole thing. And people are like, who's this random white guy? And it just laying waste to these mega theaters, because he just can do it so fucking well. Right. Where it's like, it's one of those things where there's we did different types of comedy, and I love that it is wonderfully subjective.
Yeah,
I love
that's
it.
the best part about it.
I hate lists. I hate like, oh, who's the best right now is the best of all time. It fucking depends.
It depends.
I have my little favorites, but someone will scream at me how wrong I am. Yeah. But it's like, but those are mine.
Right.
It's like music lists.
Yes.
You take the list, they go of the greatest, you're going to be like, I'm tired of all this.
I love that it's so diverse.
Yeah.
And I love being able to be opinionated about it. I love that I get to have my genres that I like, but then I can appreciate outside of what my regular thing is. And then I also love a version of something that I usually really don't like. Like I openly hate on like a lot of the clowning stuff. Sure. But if somebody, and as a lot of us do, like that's not a revolutionary thing for a stand-up to say. But when somebody does a really good like version of it, then it's so good and cool to me.
Yeah.
Like the stuff that like, there's like Zach Zucker does make me laugh. Like he does a lot of like just fucking, there's a lot of like sound cue shit that he does. Really good to me. I haven't seen too much of this. I hear great things about Natalie Palmides.
Yeah. She's great.
I haven't seen her stuff, but I believe everybody when they say that's good. But then I go like, most of the people that I see when I do the shows with these people. I don't like what they're doing,
Sure.
and I don't respect it. But when someone can do it well enough to make me respect it, I go, yeah, nothing is invalid inherently as a genre. It's just the way you're going about doing it and the way you're crafting it and the time that you're spending to make something good. You can do, as we both know, there's really good like club comedy, and then there's really, really like hacky, like,
oh yeah,
like, oh my God, you're saying shit that everybody said, you're representing opinions that are like,
yeah.
you're fucked, but like everybody's just like dying loud. And you're like, it's not I think a lot of people do are certain categories of whatever comedy we're in.
Yeah.
I think that we kind of wholly judge a lot of the other camps. Like, that happens a lot, but it's
yeah. And I will say the thing about clown is that it doesn't give a shit what people think of it, which a lot of it is not for me, I'll just say. But I do have, younger friends that, God, they love it. And we actually have, she's pretty much like a member of the family now because she's moved in with us, but she used to babysit our kid and her rent situation fell through. So we kind of made a room. We turned my wife's office into her room in the house. Cool. Yeah. And it's just because I just feel like the LA rent situation is beyond predatory. Absolutely. Like any other big city where it's just like, just move in, don't worry about it. And she's a playwright and she's always putting shows on. So she's not even there that often. Sure. So it's like, but it is what it is. But she is heavily involved in the clown scene, and she'll just do a show at midnight in an alleyway, and it'll be fucking packed. These clown shows are so like sell out all the time. Where I'm just like, man, even if I don't get it, and she's kind of quantified it and really kind of explained it in a lot of ways. And some of it is such wackadoo explanation, and she knows it. And they kind of love how nuts that is. Like I'll just say she was, and she's been on the show, Kayla Munzie. She's a really, she's a really funny person.
We like you. We don't like your people. I don't like your people. I'm not going to speak for him, but
that's fair, But she said, she's like, I feel like sometimes when I see a clown show, even if it's bad, I feel like my time was wasted well. Oh. Where if I see, she's like, I feel like their generation that grew up always with phones, always with social media.
Oh my God.
Let me just watch a human being be fucking ridiculous and not necessarily have a well-crafted set. Like, she does love what the comedy we like too. She saw me when she was in Dallas doing some work on some things and with her and her friends, and they she's like, I love this bit. I love this bit. She knows the craft and stuff. Yeah. But I think it's almost like, it's like the Gen Z's fuck around theater. You know what I mean? So it doesn't necessarily lend itself to comparisons to other things. And a lot of times it strikes me as like when all these YouTube quote unquote comedians were selling out the comedy clubs, there were a lot of guys my age and older, salty as fuck.
Right.
A lot of these guys would get on stage and bitch about how their agent told them they couldn't get a Netflix special. And I'm like,
that's a waste of time.
Stop.
That's a waste of time to do.
Stop. Yeah. And also that's not.
I would never use stage time to bitch. I'll bitch later. I'm never going to use my stage time to bitch.
Never. Why waste these people? Oh, everyone relates.
Yeah.
Everyone relates.
Okay. We get it.
Yeah. So
things aren't fair.
It's like, not that I know it's one of those things where you just don't, you're not into it, and that's fine.
Well, you know what it is too? I think that, because I've thought about it a lot, because I really try to be artistically open, especially like, the older you start to get, you feel different opinions and feelings about things start to codify. And it just is like, I would like to stay in a space, not just for seeming younger or whatever, but just to stay in a space of like, let's allow new things to happen, because especially with our algorithmic sort of worlds, we can get really boxed into like, this is who I am and this is what I like and da da da.
Right.
But when I think about the reasons why I don't like clown, we talk about it in this way of like, it's Gen Z fuck around theater. Now, based on my own personal background and the shape of what my trauma is that I have, I see a lot of this clown shit. And I go, there's this level of like, oh, white people shit. I know it's not just white people shit.
Sure.
But it's also just this thing of like how you're coming across, what you're doing, being able to fuck around and being able to be like liberated enough to do that.
Yes.
Is like this, there is this sense of like maybe it's jealousy, maybe it's like that, maybe it's also just like when it seems like somebody's just like doing whatever, I read that as privilege, and I go like, yeah, but to do anything, I had to like fucking take my actual trauma and then flip it into jokes and then make that part of my thing so that I could sell. And it was hard for me. Yeah. And not that I'm like, not one of those people that I paid college tuition. Everyone should have to pay college tuition. Nobody should get their loans forgiven. But it is that thing of just like, well, I see it. I see what it's built out of. And I think just reflexively in me artistically, I go, I see all the arguments you made, the liberating quality of like performance or whatever, but I also don't see any real humanness there, and I don't see a true vulnerability. I think there's like a version of whatever, but it's just like, the fear to fail and the I tried to write this joke and then it didn't land, that didn't work. I thought it was funny and it wasn't, and I thought about it before. That's a risk. That's real risk. A lot of like stuff that just happens in the moment, you can like, if you riff something and it doesn't quite work, it's like, whatever. I just thought of it right now. What are you gonna, the stuff that I wrote down in my house and then thought about and then recorded and then came here and brought, and that wasn't funny. Well, then that makes me stupid. Right. So it feels more vulnerable and harder and different. But
do you know what you remind me of me when I first moved to LA and I got on Comedy Death Ray, which morphed into Comedy Bang Bang, and it was like the hottest stage, alternative comedy stage in the city. And I remember I went and I booked it. I was like, holy fuck! I think Jonah Ray helped talk to Scott and got me on and got me the thing. I'm just like, and I get there, I'm so nervous, and it's like David Cross and Jimmy Pardo and was Zach on there? No, Zach wasn't on there. But just this killer's row.
Right. Really good.
And none of them are really giving a shit up there, but they're all so fucking funny. But one thing, that stage and a couple of the other were alt and comic and were pretty cool. Because there's a band there. There's all these guys with hair in their face waiting, to play in between. And everybody had a notepad. Everybody had a notepad. And I went up there without one, and I saw people visibly in the audience.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you're prepared?
Oh, it's polished?
Oh, you know your shit?
Yeah.
You're not going to, because it was this thing of comedy is stupid. No argument there.
Sure.
On a lot of levels.
Yeah, it is.
On a lot of levels. But, so you fucking memorized something by doing it a few times kind of thing. I got that. And it's like, I had a good set, but it was also like, but I still, one of the funniest things I've seen on stage, because it was this level of, when you see that person that's just like, I really couldn't give a shit.
Yes.
And it makes people feel they love the confidence.
Yeah.
And they're like, but Pardo just takes a piece of paper out, and I've referenced this on the show, I think, because I loved it so much. He takes like a note card out, and he takes it out, and here's the mic, and he's like, looks at it, he's like, no. No. Hitch. You gonna see it? Hitch? Looks good. Will Smith. Hitch. No. Because it was so funny, because it was that movie was the epitome of who gives a living shit about Hitch. Who really wants to see this movie about a guy, smooth black man who can just gets white couples together and you hire him, but he can't make it happen for him. It's just like that should have died in the pitch room.
Right.
Terrible. But it was like, it summarized that. And that was like something that was boiling inside of him.
Right.
That's why one of my favorite things for stand-up is when you see someone, they get to the room and they go up, and rather than start with one of the things, they just go, I fucking just got it. They just they have something that boils out that's so funny.
It's really, it's a beautiful thing. And when people do it well, it is the best thing. If you're funny and you make it funny for everybody, it's great. Sometimes I've seen that crash and burn.
Oh, God.
That's, you gotta.
It's gotta have something funny.
You gotta take that's somewhere else.
Yes.
But I mean, that's the thing, is it is like this back and forth between whether or not the value of polished versus unpolished. Because unpolished, I love.
Sure.
I fuck around And then sometimes it's like, well, if I fuck around too much, then I'm like, what am I doing? And if I
Right.
don't fuck around enough, it's like, what is this for?
Yeah.
You know? So it is that thing of like, I don't think that everything should be polished. I love
Yeah.
improv. I love that shit.
Yeah.
But then it's also like to have there be sort of no protein in your meal, no granola in your yogurt.
Yes,
it is like,
exactly.
I'm lactose intolerant. I can't just be having yogurt. I need granola.
But if you see that guy
yeah.
5-10 years later and he's still got the same hour,
Yeah.
just gives you the chills.
Oh,
You're
that's
like,
the worst.
oh,
Then you're like,
sir,
yeah.
you're still.
Especially when you see and like whatever, but like really old comics that were doing it in the 80s and they still have like their same thing from the, there'll be local guys. They have the exact same jokes. They've been
You guys
doing
remember
for 20
Monica
years.
Lewinsky?
Yeah. So the
Sir.
Lindbergh baby, like what the fuck are you talking about?
I don't think it was real kidnapping. I'll be honest.
As you hear that Berlin Wall came down, that's pretty crazy, huh? When that Berlin Wall came down, I looked at my wife. I said, "Hey, your walls could come down
Do
sometime."
you think we're going to join World War II? I mean, I'm just going to tell you, unless the Japs do something insane. He's
He's like, "How are you? How old are you?"
He's low key great grandpa racist. Sir,
hell?
did he say Japs?
Japs. What the fuck are you
Half
talking
this crowd
about?
is Asian. Sir,
You're in
can you
Cape
see
Town
past
right
the
now.
lights? You're in this show is in Little Tokyo.
Why are we? What are we doing?
Do you have anything you'd like to plug, to share?
Sure, I'll plug stuff.
Yeah.
I am too starting a podcast. It's going
Nice.
to be called Help Me Be Black, and it will be on the internet. It's coming out soon. I don't know exactly when, but I'm starting to promo, so it's going to come out.
That's great.
And that's my thing. I'm not really on the road because I be getting jobs, and that keeps you, in LA.
Nice.
But hey guys, I'm working on the Oscars again, so watch the Oscars on ABC and probably just clips online after that.
Very cool.
So that's it.
Well, thanks for coming on the show, Skyler. You're goddamn hilarious.
Thank you. We had
Thanks
fun.
for throwing a tank on.
Hey, man. I'm the cowboy of weed, and as soon as you turn around, I'm gonna disappear back into the ether.
Thanks, man.